Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weed News. I am your host, Mike Cannon. Before you ask, no, this isn't the shirt of a rapist that's daring you to turn him on. This is my buddy Chris DiStefano's merch. And you know what they say? I support my friends in all of their artistic endeavors. Plus, I'm way too broke to do laundry. Tell me no. In our first story, and boy is it a mouthful, which is why I have to read it off of this pad, not because I have any kind of short-term memory loss. During the American Chemical Society's national meeting in San Francisco, the home of butt sex, engineering professor David Mitlin introduced a new groundbreaking study that investigates the potential for industrial hemp to aid in the creation of extremely efficient batteries called supercapacitors, or supercaps for short. If I tried to say that from memory, I would have thrown up all over my dick. I don't know what any of this means, but this guy is gonna get murdered really soon. Seriously, David, run. Right now, drop your little nerd pad, whatever you're doing, get the fuck out of Dodge. You're dead, buddy. There is no way they are going to let this happen. And of course, by they, I mean the shape-shifting sadists that drink baby's blood cocktails and run this country. The reason hemp is even illegal in the first place is because William Randolph Hearst didn't want to change over his paper mills, or some shit like that. I don't know, I read a lot of headlines of articles and never really the full body. But if any part of that is actually true, do you really think they are going to allow hemp to be a new replenishable energy source? One thing I don't understand, and just one thing, clearly I have everything else on lock, how did they even think to test this? It absolutely blows my dick in the dirt. What if other things that we love actually provide energy, but we're not creative enough to test it out? What if pussy could fuel a car? We just have to heat it up to the perfect temperature and then boom, America runs on Gash. For our next segment, what to do while weeded. High-tivities. Joint ventures, which is producer John's baby, and he really wants me to say that every single time. But two things have really been stuck in my craw lately. First thing, the Jinx, HBO documentary about alleged murderer Robert Durst. It's unbelievable. I've been watching it on HBO Go recently, and just so you all know, it's my girlfriend's mother's password. Don't start thinking I'm all fancy. You can see by the numbers below that things aren't going all that well. Honestly, I'm kind of starting to realize that high school may be karma for why my life is so terrible right now. There's no way things would pan out for the kid who used to get cheerleaders to bake him brownies and then blow him in the stairwell. That's not so much a joke, more of me trying to get that information out into the world, to the Jinx. Without giving anything away, the Jinx is must watch. It's like Serial, if anything ever happened in Serial. We can all agree that Robert Durst is a weird looking rod. His skin looks like it could give me a paper cut. Also, he looks like a liver spot with two googly eyes taped to it. He is a real life supervillain. He was just arrested in real life. I'm sorry, this is available via the news. If you didn't read it because of spoilers to the documentary, go suck a fuck. I have nothing for you. But he was just arrested with 40 grand in cash and a latex mask. What is he, Drew Barrymore in the opening scene of Charlie's Angels? Second on my entertainment list is Kendrick Lamar's new album, To Pimp a Butterfly. I've never enjoyed something that was so clearly not made for me more in my entire life. The album has been described as militant black power music, and I gotta tell you, I've been blasting it while wearing a dashiki in my apartment. I would recommend this album to any rap fan. I'm assuming if you are a fan of hip-hop, you've already heard it, and any white person who wants to understand the Black Lives Matters movement. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Weed News. Everybody, please subscribe over here, down under, right there. We could use any support because frankly, it's getting difficult to explain to people that, you know, we're just waiting for it to take off and hopefully, you know, once it reaches that tipping point, I really think it's gonna be something, right? And then 7 years later, we're still at 14 views. Comment below unless you're some fucking cunt that's giving me shit about my reviews. Listen, I know I'm not the most thorough person with news and analysis or with my reviews or anything for that matter, but you know what? I'm just trying to entertain you. And if you're not being entertained, then just switch me the motherfuck off. Also, follow me on Twitter at @IamMikeCannon. Listen to my podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. You guys know the drill. We talk about conspiracy, corruption, clams, and carpets. And against all odds, I want to say special thank you to producer Joe for fucking showing up today. It's unbelievable. I feel like the kid in Hook when Peter finally comes to his baseball game, but he's late. Joe, come on out. The fans want to see what you look like without the graphic over here. All right, back down, back down. More suction. Too much teeth. Nope, not enough teeth. Perfect.